Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Thursday, May 21st, 2020. We again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. I mention this each day, but in my opinion, at least for me, the best time of the day to make my buying and selling decisions is at the end of the day when the large financial institutions come in, take control of the pricing away from the day traders and the algorithms. They are dealing with the most money. They have very intelligent people. They have the best information, the best technology, and so I consider them smart money. At the end of the day, they come in, they take control of the price, and I like to piggyback on what they're doing at the end of the day. So anyway, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I think we have such a great little community here, and with great insight and comments and poems and all sorts of great stuff. So as always, I sincerely mean it when I say thank you for coming here to the live stream each day. So, all right. Well, how we doing? Quad Racer is here. Hey, Quad, good to see you. Boy, Quad and I had a lesson last night. He was just aces. He was just answered every question, every trick question I had for him. I couldn't get him off his game. So excellent lesson last night, Quad. Really proud of you. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Greg and the gang. Hello to Dan. Hey, Steve Burns. How you doing, buddy? Always appreciate you being here. Always an honor. Always a privilege. Steve says, hi, everyone. The market remains range-bound but is resilient to bad news. Yes, it is an interesting market. We go down, it immediately gets bought back up. And then we go up, and it can't continue today. So it's been pretty range-bound for sure. I imagine we'll have a break here eventually, one way or the other. But good seeing you, Steve. Thank you so much for being here. Let's take a look. I have a little issue with my streaming thing here. Wait, let me refresh that and see if that will help. I think it did. Hey, Scatty, how you doing, bud? Nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Kamal. Hey, Kamal and I have been chatting during the day and looking at some day trades and things like that. We do have one day trade on right now at the moment. So I'll show you where we entered and we'll see what we do at the end of the day. Hey, Frank, good to see you, my friend. Always nice to have you here. Frank, the trading poet, is how I'm going to start referring to Frank. So, all right, what's going on? Dow Jones is down 93 points, down 0.38%. NASDAQ is down 64 points, down 0.68%, and the S&P is down 19 points, down 0.65%. So right now it looks like the NASDAQ is getting the worst of it. So, all right. Well, listen, this is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, I'm going to come back, take a look at all my current positions and day trades, talk about when I got in them, why I got in them, what methodology and what I was thinking when I got into the trades, and then always, most importantly, how I'm going to manage them going forward, either to the upside and to the downside. Then, some of you have been kind enough to share your trades with me. We are going to go through those, take a look, see how they're doing. After that, about halfway of the podcast, I am going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, trading philosophy, trading words of wisdom in all aspects. I mention this all the time, but you do have to learn how to trade. You need to understand support resistance levels, indicators, entries, exits. That is what you have to learn in order to put together a plan. But then putting together that plan and following that plan is a whole other challenge. That's when it comes down to trading psychology. So I do like to touch on that each day. As a matter of fact, if I had my druthers, I would probably talk about it 80% of the time and talk about technicals about 20% of the time. That is how that is how much I think it is important. It's 80%. It's 80% of the battle. So, if you are not being able to follow your trading plan, if you are getting in too early or getting out, not taking your exits, not taking your entries, letting your stop losses run too long, not taking your profits when you're supposed to, then you need to work on that part of you, which is the trading psychology part. It's a skill. It is a skill, just like learning how to trade. It is a skill. So if you're having a hard time with that, you need to work on it, hone that skill so you can get better. Because that is 80% of the battle right there. Then after that, we are going to go down through my watch list. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to buy a new stock, make a new entry. First requirement, have to make sure that I have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up, like MACD, RSI, ATR channels, V1s, V2s. I consider all of these signals groups of buyers. When I look at a moving average, I look at a group of buyers. When I look at a V1 or V2, I look at groups of buyers. When I look at RSI, I look at as groups of buyers. So you'll put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade if you are in the company with as many other groups of buyers as possible. So that's why I like to look for a confluence or a combination of indicators or groups of buyers, in other words, lining up on my charts, and ideally on multiple time frames. Requirement number 2, just make sure you have a good risk to reward. Sometimes you can have a really great setup, but it may come at a point on the chart where the ATR levels are too high, the RSI levels are too high. But I like to be able to make at least 2 times to the upside what I'm risking to the downside based upon valid support below me and realistic resistance above me. And then step number 3, always keep in mind how many positions you have. Are they correlated? Do you have some diversification? It's very important not to be overloaded in one particular industry. If it goes up, that's fantastic. But if it goes down, then you're going to get hurt if you have multiple positions in that industry. And then lastly, I have a rule where I cannot put more than 60% of my capital at risk, even if they're completely unrelated, uncorrelated positions. That's just a rule I have for me. It doesn't mean I always have to have 60%. I rarely have 60%, but that's my maximum. So I'm going to go down through the watch list, look for those 3 requirements. Greg, we can see your screen on the live chat, only the banner. Oh, sorry about that. I forgot to switch over in my streaming. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we didn't need that yet. So better now. Hopefully better now. Anyway, we're going to go down through my watch list. We're going to look for those 3 requirements. Then if I find something that looks good, I'll mark it. At the end of the day, then I will go through it with a fine-tooth comb, try to find just the best trade of the day. So then when the market closes, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to clarify for you. If you want me to look at any stock symbols, I'm happy to do that as well. If there are any stock symbols that you would like me to take a look at before the market closes and it would be helpful to you or the group to get my opinion, I'm happy to do that as well. Just make sure you put a little emoji by it or a little star by it or something like that so that I know that it's time sensitive. All right. And that's the plan for today. So, all right. Thanks for letting me know there, Kamal. And let's run this US legal disclaimer and we will get to it. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Sometimes with all these screens and this streaming software, it gets complicated. Sometimes I'm like, wait, where am I? What's happening? All right. Let's see up here. Dirk says, hello all. Hey, Dirk, TDOC. Okay. Oh, and I might want to also mention that I know some of you have some stocks up on the board. If you could please wait till after the market closes, let me know if you got into something new. Let me know if you got out of something new, just to save a little time. The hour goes by fast, and if I try to put it all up on the board during the day, I always run behind. So if you could just wait till the end to let me know of any new entries or exit. All right, Kamal wants to look at TDOC. All right. So this is something Kamal pointed out to me earlier in the day, which I am grateful for. Two things going on here. We have a return to value. We closed above the 1 ATR channel. We came into value. We start moving sideways. See the nice V2 we have today? Bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 2 washes out bar 1. Currently, bar 3 is above bar 1's close, above the 50 RSI. And we also have a 520 EMA crossover, which Kamal tested on his software and does backtest well. So I do like this, actually. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly is nothing special. I definitely wouldn't like it up here at the third ATR channel, but it is kind of in a range-bound area now, which is good. So, you know, when I look at the weekly, I really looking at the weekly to see if there's something I really don't like. And this seems pretty neutral to me. A touch high, I got to say, a touch high. But this does look good. So I'm marking that as well. Cody. So we have some nice sideways motion here, right? We're building a little bit of a base, which I like because small bars, small range bars do lead to big range bars. See the small ranges bars over here, bump, 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 and then it led to big bars down. Now it's moving sideways again. Now keep in mind, it could lead to big bars down again, or could lead to big bars up. One good thing about this is that it did trigger a V1 yesterday, and it looks like it was under 30 RSI and over 30 RSI. I don't think I would buy something like this, the $3 stock. And remember, Kamal, in my opinion, the reason the reason technicals work is because you have a lot of people looking at them and seeing the same thing. I don't think Cody is probably widely followed by the investment community. And so that's one thing I forgot to mention to you on Skype. So I probably would not buy this. Quads Racer, just a heads up, your screen is still showing. Yep, got that. Hi, everyone, from Miko. Hey, buddy, good to see you, sir. Quad Racer, me too. I cannot see the usual chart. Okay, I think we have that taken care of, right? I just forgot to switch over. Okay, Frank has a poem. Trust your insight and you'll trade right. The best defense is common sense. Rules do guide, but you can't hide when quick decisions you must decide. Knowledge is info we digest. A trade puts you to the test. Excellent. Let me take one more crack at that. Look, these aren't just poems. These are poems with a lot of wisdom. Your insight and you'll trade right. The best defense is common sense. Rules do guide, but you can't hide when quick decisions you must decide. Knowledge is info we digest. A trading puts you to the test. Thank you, Frank. Excellent as always. Really appreciate that, sir. All right. Let's see. Garrick Juiced. Hey, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Garrick says, first week trading, keen to learn everything from the pros. Oh, well, congratulations on your trading journey. First week, boy, can you imagine? My advice, Garrick, is you don't have any bad habits right now. You haven't acquired a lot of bad habits over the years because you first started trading. That's a huge benefit for you. It's a huge benefit from you. If you can learn good trading principles now without getting into the rut of bad habits, you will do well. So congratulations. Anything I can help you with, let me know. Hi, David. Good to see you, my friend. Always nice to see David. All right, let's get to it. Caterpillar. All right, I did take Caterpillar yesterday on 520. I bought it here at 115.65. I bought it when the 520 crossover happened. This is a good back-tested approach. Of course, back-test or crossovers don't always work, but they give you a good structure. So if you're wrong, you can be wrong quickly and small. And if you're right, you have the potential for a large win. So just comes back around to risk to reward. In trading, in order to make money at trading over the long run, you have to cut your losses quickly and you have to let your winners run. And that is what a crossover does. This is down slightly. I bought it at 115.65. Right now it's at 114.18. So it is down 1.31%. So anyway, nothing to do here. I will get out of half my position when the price crosses back below the 5 and the 20. I'll get out of my full position when the 5 crosses under the 20. To the upside, I will phase out until I hit the 30 RSI, or I have some kind of volatile bar. So this one's down on the day. SPY, all right, quickly, SPY trade. This is from Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this because of the results of this back-tested approach between these two systems. System number one, buy the SPY at the open, hold through the day, sell at the close. If you did this every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9% return. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold overnight, take that overnight risk, sell first thing the next morning, a positive 634.2%. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. We know this. This may never work again, ever again in the future. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I'm going to allocate it towards something that has a good back test result, like the blue line, compared to doing what the orange line is doing. So this has a nice equity curve using this approach. There are a lot of ups and downs, so don't just think it goes up. Boy, I'll tell you what, this year's been a tough one. Had a really good comeback lately for sure, but at the beginning of the year, it was brutal, although 2019 was really good. So I just allocate a small position size to this every single day. Okay. This is so close. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to read the numbers. I bought it yesterday at 296.93 at the close. Sold it this morning for 296.80. So I did lose 13 cents on this overnight, which is not a big deal, but have had some really nice trades. Well, here I bought at the open, sold at the close for a loss, but look at this monster. Bought at the open, sold at bought at the close, sold at the open. Bought at the close, sold at the open for a small loss. Bought at the open, sold at the open for a big loss yesterday, big win yesterday. So this was essentially a break even. So I will be buying this again today at the close, as always. USO, this has been a monster of monster trades, I have got to say. Kamal, MA, and Karen are in this trade, I believe still. I took it back here on the 14th of May. We rallied back up here. We had some really nice sideways movement. We had a stab down to the downside and big reversal back up. I did buy it here at 21.49. Now it is 26.68. I did hit all 3 of my profit targets today, and we got up to the 6 ATR channel, which means when we got up to this last one right here near the high, I scaled out and I am out of the position. So I'm very happy for that. I've had 2 trades lately where I've scaled out completely, which doesn't happen a lot, meaning that they got up to the 6 ATR channel, up 5% today. This trade from entry has been a monster, 24.51%. I believe Kamal and MA and Karen, I don't think they've been phasing out. So they got a 24.5% trade there if they are still in. And so congratulations. What a monster. Okay. Alibaba. Well, Alibaba, I did buy back here on the 15th of May. I bought it at 203.96, 520 crossover. 1050 crossover, immediately went up nicely. I think I hit 3 profit targets, 4 profit targets. The next day it went up again. I hit some more profit targets. Yesterday it gapped up. I hit 1 more profit target. It has moved more than 1 ATR for my entry. Yesterday we were below the previous day's low. It held above, so I kept it, unfortunately. But today down Again, off of its low, I am probably going to go ahead and just get out of this trade here, lock in some profits. I don't want to give this all back. Glad that I phased out some here near the top for sure, but don't like that big bar with the big volume. I don't like we got back to about halfway and failed. So I'm going to take this one off today and just lock in the profits there. And that's it. I have a day trade that I took here. I took this with Kamal back earlier in the day, 39-minute bars. Bought this here at 74.69. We came down. We had some nice sideways motion. Then the bar that I bought it, the previous bar, washed out the bar before it, washed it out. The bar that I bought it, it closed above. So we have a nice V2 entry, also rejection of the 100-day. Close back in the value zone. MACD was positive. Lots of good stuff there. I did go ahead and take one profit target here at 75.04. Went a little higher. But anyway, still nicely profitable. This is a day trade for me, so I will be getting out of this at the end of the day. We'll just see what happens. But my initial stop on this was a close below the 200-day moving average. So it has held that. And it is profitable, so I'm grateful for that. Here's another, I did not take this day trade, but Kamal and I were looking at this. This is Netflix. We went under 30, over 30, under the 200, over the 200, under the negative third ATR channel, over the third ATR, negative third ATR channel. And look at that. It has moved up nicely since then. I didn't take this, but it was a good example of big down, creating a base, consolidation, under 30, over 30, under the 200, over the 200, under the negative third, under the third. So I guess I would have bought it about 433.22. Right now it's 435. Essentially. So I didn't take this trade, but I thought it was a good example of just giving yourself, waiting for indicators to line up and then positioning yourself. So if you're wrong quickly with just a small close under the 200-day. Okay. Andrea's here. Hey, good to see you, Andrea. Always nice to have you here, my friend. Appreciate it. Andrea says, hi all, keeping an eye on Walmart. All right, let's look at Walmart real quick. Yeah, so we had the big skyscraper bar down. It's holding, which is good. So we were above the value zone, back into the value zone, couple days sideways movement. So I would be looking for a V1 or V2 here. All right, quickly, let's take a look over here. Bing He did buy Chewy at 40.55 with this nice V2 entry. Moved up nicely his way. But then came down. Nice comeback today, though. Looks like it got him back even, or maybe even a little profit. Nice higher low V2 here. Here's bar 1, bar 2, washes out bar 1. Current day is above day 1's close, so that is a higher low V2 rejection of the negative 1 ATR channel. That's good. And above 50 RSI. So, if Bing He is still in this trade, this is a good sign here for sure. Twitter, man, Kamal has just done so well with this Twitter trade. Above the 1 ATR channel, into the value zone, sideways motion, nice V2, moved up, then came back down, tested his stop, but closed above. Next day, tested it again, closed above, and it has been off to the races ever since. Kamal is up on this trade. 12.81%. It was bearish earlier, reversed back up. Andrea, if you're listening, I was looking at Twitter today when it was down here. I'm like, ooh, that's right in the middle of that halfway bar Fibonacci. I didn't take an entry on it, but look at that. I mean, that's a picture perfect example of having a big up bar, having a normal retracement to the 50%, literally to the penny almost looks like, and then reversal back up. So congratulations, Kamal. It's a 64.87. If you have any changes, let me know. Okay, here's Kamal on AGQ. He has had a monster trade. He took a 520 crossover on SLV, At one point, he was up 35% in the trade. Now he's up 25% in the trade. So if there's any changes on that, congratulations, Kamal. That's a perfect trade. And let me know if there's any changes. Disney. Okay, so it looks like Steve and Karen and Quad took Disney back on the 19th of May. They took it when we had a 1050 EMA crossover. This is a good back-tested approach to a crossover trade for Disney. They bought it at 114.57, moved right up nicely yesterday. Is down a little bit today, but still, it looks like they're up almost $4 on the trade. So congratulations to Steve, Karen, and Quad Racer. Then we have, there we go. Here we have Glenn. Glenn bought Salesforce back here on the 7th, bought it at 166.75, moved nicely, then kind of swung back down. Now we're back up. Is down a little bit today, but still nicely in the trade, almost $10. XLU, let's see, I think Kamal was in this trade. He got out, and then MA, I think, is still in this trade. Had this nice bullish engulfing bar, V1, rejection of the lower range here. So faults break out to the downside, bought it at 55.57, moved up nicely, and it's still up. It is down a little bit today, but still profitable on the trade. Nick bought calls on Pinterest, 1850 calls expiring 529. It's 1866, so they are in the money intrinsically at least. Roku, Kamal and Quad Racer. Well, they bought this with this nice V2 entry, also rejection of the 100-day moving average. It's just moved sideways. Today it went down, but it's been resilient. It doesn't look like it wants to close over that or under that 100-day. So I believe that's Kamal and Quad stop. So a little down on the trade so far, but glad to see this happening here. Let's see, Steve Burns and Karen bought SSO, which is double leverage SPY. They bought it on the 18th of May, 115.45. Next day, and they bought it with the 1050 EMA crossover. Next day, it went whipsawed immediately against. Then yesterday had that huge day up, down a little bit today. Let's see, entry 115.45, so down about 90 cents on the trade so far, it looks like. But the 1050 EMA cross looks like it is still in place. Look at this on a down day. This is the microcap index, IWC, of the microcap companies. Steve bought this back on the 18th of May, bought it at 79.45, immediately reversed against. Yesterday we had the nice day, and this is actually green today. So Steve bought this at 79.45, and it's up about $1.20 so far. So congratulations. And then last but not least is Goldman Sachs. So Steve, Kamal, Binghe, and Karen bought Goldman Sachs yesterday right around 180.56. We had the 520 EMA crossover, good backtested crossover approach, was down much lower earlier in the day. Let's see, I have here 185.56, so, it's down like 25%. But anyway, the 5 is still above the 20, so if the 5 crosses back below the 20, I imagine that's what Steve and the rest of the people's stop loss will be. And could go down, could go up, but if it goes down, you have a signal to get out quickly. If it goes up, you just don't know how much it could go up, and that's the beauty of crossovers. Okay, Karen is here. Hello, my friend, good to see you. Kamal says, Quad Racer, this Roku keeps holding that 100. That's correct. Karen says, TDOSC currently 520 cross. Yep, exactly. That's one of the ones that I'm looking at. I have an F-35 jet going over my head. Wow, those things are loud. Their flight path out of the mountains always comes right over my house. Okay. Sounds like a bomb dropping. Let me check real quick on current positions. Caterpillar 520 crossover still in place. I am down on that one. SPY trade, very, very small loss on that one today. Oil is kicking butt for sure. Wow. Fantastic for Kamal, MA, and Karen. And I phased out. I am out of this trade. I phased out. Alibaba, I am going to get out today. It's just not acting well. Etsy, my little day trade, is doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. I bought it at 74.69. Now it's 75.43. So fantastic. That's good for Kamal and I. We bought it at the same time. Actually, Kamal bought it about 8 cents lower than me because he was patient, more patient. Fantastic. You know what? I already did phase out of some. And what I'm going to do, because now it's getting up there again, I'm going to phase out of another about 10% of those shares. I like to phase up when the market's going my way. Okay. So I got out of the second phase right here. I'm used to trading 5-minute bars. So these 39-minute bars are like, man, this thing's taking forever. But there's pluses and minuses to that as well. Okay, so 2 profit targets hit. I will get out of this. Oh, it's 46.97. I'm going to have to watch and see. And then Netflix, boy, that would have been a great trade, Kamal. We should have taken it. We both liked it. Look at that. All right, I'm going to get rid of that and clean up the board here. Okay. So listen, before we go down through my watch list, before we look for possible new trade for, at the end of the day for me, using my 3 requirements, right? Combination confluence of indicators, good risk to reward ratio based upon support below, legitimate resistance above, and also looking at correlation of positions, industries, account heat, all of that. Before we do that, I do like to talk about trading psychology, trading words of wisdom, trading philosophy. It's the most important part of your trading. And there's some really good Facebook, Twitter channels out there that are kind enough to put effort and burn calories and write these things for us to read. This is Patient McTrader. This is our friend Jackson. Jackson is a previous student of mine from Australia and a really, really good one. Boy, I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with Jackson with his analytical skills, and he's a deep thinker. And follow him over on Patient McTrader, at Patient M Trader over on Twitter. He's a great guy. I was lucky enough to meet him as my student, but he's a deep thinker, and this is really great what he posts. Human nature is constructed in such a way that we learn more from loss than we do from a life of ease. Why then, as traders, do we often fail at attaining wealth? We are taught that failure, mistakes, and risk are bad when we should be actually studying them, right? We do learn more from a loss than we do from a win, right? So learn from your losses. It's okay. It's just a way to get better. You know, sure, we all make mistakes. Hopefully we don't make them again if we're smart, right? But it's the same in trading. You're going to make mistakes, but learn from your losses. Look at your losses. You paid for that loss. You might as well take something away from it. You know what I'm saying? So human nature is constructed in such a way that we learn more from loss than we do from a life of ease. Why then, as traders, do we often fail at attaining wealth? We are taught that failure, mistakes, and risk are bad when we should be actually studying them. So study your losses. If there's a cycle that you get into over and over and over, study it. You've lost, you've paid for it, that tuition, learn something from it. Look at it as at a positive. I mean, I know it sounds a little Pollyannish, I get it, but it is true. Learn from your mistakes, whether it's trading or whether it is anything else in life. So thank you, Jackson, Patient McTrader at Patient M Trader. Great channel. Let's support him. He's a former student of mine and just a great guy. And I think he has a really good career in trading ahead of him. All right. How's my Etsy doing? Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Kamal, I did get out of Roku, kind of wishing I hadn't now. Yep. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, huh? All right, I'm going to take Quad Racer off of there. Bing He, TDOC has 520 cross. Yes, we've been talking about that, Bing He. Fantastic. I do like that trade. And glad to see your Chewy up today. Bing-hee. Really glad to see that. I think you still have it. I hope you still have it. Okay, here we go. Let's go down through the watch list, see if there's anything that looks... Here comes another F-35. Apple. Apple is down today. You know, one thing I noticed on Apple, I was talking with Quad Racer yesterday during our lesson, and, you know, I'm seeing a lot of bearish divergences on this rally, especially on some of the tech names. And look what we did on Apple today. We had a false breakout. See the previous high? We went up, tested the temperature, didn't like it, came back. You know, I'm not going to short this, but this is, if I was inclined to short, this is something I would look at. We had a false breakout from this high. We went up, we reversed back down. We did have a MACD divergence. Here we have the fourth ATR channel. This previous high got to the fourth ATR channel. We went higher today and didn't even get to the third. That's what's called a bearish ATR divergence. And we also have a false breakout. We have a V1 to the downside. So I'm not going to short this, but if I did short this, I would just get out if we close back up into the old higher range. But this is not really good price action. In addition, look how high the RSI reading was here on this high. See, it's up here. Now we went higher and it's lower. So we have an RSI divergence. We have a ATR divergence. We don't have a MACD divergence, but a lot of things going on here, honestly. Adobe, stronger than Apple because it did not have a false breakout, waiting for a pullback. Amazon, I was talking with Kamal about this earlier. This could very well be a intermediate term top for Amazon. Of course, I don't know, but look at the breakout. We had a false breakout above this high. Now we have a huge V1 to the downside. We have a bearish engulfing bar to the downside, and we have major double top with the bearish divergence. See this topping over here? See how high the bars are? Then we come back into the red. We went higher. No green bars to be found. Anthony, you know what I'm talking about, right? We talked about this last night at length. And I think I mentioned to you, I said, you know, this looks very bearish to me, but you need a trigger. Well, that's a trigger. That's a false breakout, V1 to the false breakout to the upside and reversal, V1 to the downside, bearish engulfing bar, ATR divergence. I mean, look how high ATR wise we were over here. We were at the third ATR channel. Here we got to like the 2.5. Plus a major, super major bearish divergence. You know, you all know this, but I studied one-on-one with Dr. Alexander Elder. This is his favorite setup. I was telling Quad Racer last night, I was like, Dr. Elder is licking his lips at the moment, looking for a short. So that could be, of course I don't know, but that seriously could be an intermediate term top for Amazon. Boeing, wow, look at Boeing. 520 crossover, blah, blah, blah. Up much higher. I don't see anything here on Boeing. Alibaba is my stinker of the day. I'm going to have to get out of this today, but still a profit. And again, just another example of why I like to phase out as it goes up, because I hit profit targets much, much higher than where we are now. And Quad and David still have that. Berkshire Hathaway down a little bit, did have a nice rally off the bottom. We did get into the value zone. I'd like to see this come back a day or two and then look for a higher low V1. MACD did go positive, so I'm not going to use that just as my entry signal, but I would be looking for a higher low V1 or V2 here. Beyond Meat, nothing really there. Need to pull back into value. Caterpillar I have today. It is down. I bought it, went right down after the crossover, but still really no reason to get out of this. Pinsey, Karen, and Dave have this. Carnival Cruise is consolidating up here. Is up today, so it's bucking the trend. That's good. I do have some Carnival calls that I bought, not for my account, but for an account I manage, and they have done very, very well. They've almost doubled in price, which is fantastic. Bottom here, bottom here, and they went up nicely down, but they're out till 2022. Dow bearish engulfing V1 to the downside. Big bearish divergence. See how we have the high? We have the high MACD bars over here. We went green on the MACD. Yes, we went back green, but little green, not a lot of green. So that just means that the second move up lacked the momentum as the first move, which often happens. But the implication is if you lack momentum, you're going to go back down. Disney we talked about. Steve, Karen, and Quad have this. Is down today, but they are in the money still. So that is always a good thing. Etsy, I had that little day trade on Etsy. Ooh, I'm glad I took that second profit target. Remember when I took the second profit target about 10 minutes ago, right there near the top? So anyway, this has been a nice little day trade. Doesn't look like a lot because these are long-term bars, but pretty good so far. Come on, baby, stay in there, stay green. Stay green till I have to get out in 19 minutes. Facebook made an all-time high today, but does have a bearish reversal bar. Nothing there. Gold back in the value zone. That's what I'm looking for. Andrea, we went all the way down, and now we've rallied back up to halfway of the bar. Right, there's your Fibonacci right there. I would be looking for a 520 cross under on gold, back over, or now that we're in the value zone, some sideways motion. The Goog, nothing really there. Looking for a pullback into value. Goldman Sachs, Steve, Kamal, Bing, he, and Karen have this. This is down a smidge. They bought it with the 520 crossover, but I do like that it tested the 5, the 10, and the 20 today and bounced off of it. That's a good sign. Home Depot up a little bit today. It's been down since earnings. Like to see it pull back into the value zone. IBB, nothing much going on there. Need it to come back into the value zone before I get interested. Intel up nicely, but big reversal. IWM up today. Interesting. So IWM isn't, well, I guess that makes sense because the microcaps were up also. So nothing here. I'd be looking for a 1050 SMA cross under and back over. J&J, looks like that was a good entry exit yesterday. Kamal, nothing there. CarMax up today, interestingly enough, but nothing there. Coca-Cola was up, now reversed. Lockheed Martin, don't really see anything with Lockheed. MasterCard, again, we got right up to that third ATR channel. 92% of prices fail at the third ATR channel, and this was no exception, right? No exception there. McDonald's up, nice. I was talking about with Quad Racer last night. This is shaping up to be a good double bottom with the bullish divergence. You have the bottom here with the deep MACD bars. You rally, you have some green MACD bars. If we can get, it's not ready yet, but if we can get down and test this low, I can just tell the MACD bars will be red, but they will be less than half of these. That's where I would look. And this is a good example of, when you see something setting up, doesn't mean buy it, but you can look and go, oh, you know what? If in the next 2, 3, 4 days, a week, if this does this, put a little sticky note on your refrigerator and say, keep watching Merck. It might have a double bottom with the bullish divergence. So I would like to see it come back down here, test this previous low, maybe have a V1 or a V2, especially in the context that we would have a double bottom with the bullish divergence. Double bottoms, bullish divergences, they don't happen often, but when they do, you definitely want to take a look. Microsoft down. Again, we have a high with green bars. We rally back, we pull back to red. Now we got up here, almost made a new high. No green bars to be seen whatsoever. Netflix, well, I didn't want to buy up here, but now that it's in the value zone, if it can settle down, start moving sideways, find some buyers, consolidate, then I look for a V1, V2. Nike, whoa, boy, Nike is strong, strong, strong. Guess that would have been a good buy off the 200, right? But anyway, that one's got away. If any of you have Nike, congratulations. Oh, glad to see Philip Morris up today. Ooh, do you see how Philip Morris got up and tested the 50 day, or sorry, the 50 RSI and the 50-day moving average. Quad Racer, did we not talk about this yesterday? Did I not say that, look, the 50 RSI lines right up with the 50-day moving average? Double confirmation of resistance. Look where it got. Wow, that was spot on. PayPal, nothing really there. Qs, a little bit of a V1 to the downside. Looking for a pullback to value, looking for the 5 to cross under the 20, back over. Something, but nothing there yet. Silver, Kamal, is currently under 70, but it's still holding above the 200. So I know you have some if-then statements. If it does this, I'm going to do that. If it does that, I'm going to do this. So at the end, when we're done, please let me know what you've done or if you have any changes. SPY had the little tiny 6-cent loss on SPY today. From a bigger perspective, though, look, we tested the 200 yesterday. We tested the 200 today. That's not a good sign, right? You know, if I was in a mood to short, I would probably short it here because I have a lot of potential to the downside. And if I'm wrong, I could be wrong just up to the 200-day moving average. But I'm not going to do that. But something interesting. And as far as the market goes, the greater market in general, this is kind of an indication that the S&P couldn't break above the 500. Teladoc, here we go. This is the one we've been talking about. We were above the value zone, into the value zone, sideways motion. We had a 5 under the 20 and back over. This does back test well, and we have a V2. So double confirmation, we're above 50 RSI. To me, this looks like the best trade so far today. Bonds, a little bit of a rally. Tesla, higher low V1, but too high up there for me to get involved. Twitter, congratulations, Kamal. What a monster. Kamal has had some monster trades lately, man. I'm so proud of him. United Continental, nobody won it. Now everybody wants it. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. We are back into the value zone. I'd look for, look, the people that bought down here, when it starts to get weak, they're going to sell and lock in that monster profit. I promise you. That will cause the market to come back down again. But if we can get another group of buyers come in with a V1 or a V2, then I would buy it. That would allow the movement to go up easier because the people that bought here sold here. If it comes back down, the people that bought here are selling here. So if it goes back up, you don't have those people to contend with as sellers, and it makes it go up easier. UNG, I don't see anything there. UNH, boy, rocketed up right back in the value zone. Oil, what a monster trade. So I did scale out. We got right up here to my ultimate profit target, so I am out. This was one of the best trades I've had all year. But you know, what I want to point out is the sidewards motion, the coiling, the indecisiveness, the consolidation. And as I always say, it's going to break one way or the other. You just don't know which way. And it did a head fake to the downside and then right back up. And that's when Kamal, M.A., Karen, and myself bought it. So this is looking a little volatile up here. I would imagine, of course, I don't know, but I would imagine this is probably the thick of the move. The dollar, I put this on. I did want to kind of watch the dollar, but I don't see anything here. VIX, had some nice trades on VIX lately, but nothing here today. Oh, by the way, I am going to be interviewing David Lincoln. He has the VIX channel on YouTube. You know, he's a niche trader. He's a specialist with the VIX only. So, I'm gonna interview him on Friday, but if any of you have any questions that you would like me to ask him particular to the VIX, he is really a VIX expert. So if anybody has any questions, let me know and I'll bring them up at the interview. Walgreens, I don't see anything there. Walmart, of course, we had big gap on earnings and boom, right back down. We are moving sideways, so if we can hold sideways for a couple more days, that would be good. Energy, Anthony, just so you know, here's another example of a double top with the bearish divergence. Here's a top, big MACD bars. We have a pullback. We have red MACD bars. Now we went higher yesterday with very little green MACD bars. This just means that it's a double top with the bearish divergence. This last move did not have anywhere close to the momentum of this one. We talked about this last night, looking for, if I was looking for a short entry, this is what it would be. It's a false breakout to the downside with the V1 to the downside. That's what it would be. I'm not going to short this, but just for funsies, we'll have to see how this works out. My stop would be a close back here, so it would be a small loss if I was wrong. XLF, don't see anything there. Oh, by the way, while I remember it, please somebody remind me to get out of Etsy before the end of the day. Utilities, don't see anything there. Healthcare and Zoom. Oh, boo, Etsy. All right, we have 9 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and get out. It is a profitable trade. I entered here, hit a profit target here. I just want to get it off of my mind. Let's see. All right, it was a green trade. Okay, Etsy's out. Etsy's done. And it was positive. So that's the most important thing, right? Okay. So, what it looks like to me today is Teladoc. As long as we have the 520 cross. So let's see the 5. Sorry, 175.81. Oh, now we're under the 20. So it has untriggered. If that's the case, I'm not going to buy anything. If that's the case, I'm not going to buy this. So that looks like about it. I am getting rid of, let me see. Caterpillar's okay. SPY I'm buying. USO I'm out of. Baba, I will be getting out of. Etsy, I am already out of with that day trade. I just took that one off. See how everybody else is doing. Chewy is up. That's good for Bing He. Twitter up. Good for Kamal. AGQ. I think Kamal is going to be doing something with AGQ, so let me know. Disney down, CRM down, XLU down. Nick that's down today. Roku is battling with that 100, so Kamal's going to have to be watching that. SSO down for Steve and Karen. IWC up, thankfully, for Steve Burns. A little bit on a green day. That's saying something. And Goldman Sachs also down. Yesterday I was trying to decide between Goldman Sachs and Caterpillar. Same entry, 520 crossover, but I'm not going to take them both because I just kind of generally know if the market's down, most likely they're going to go down together. If it goes up, most likely it's going to go up together, right? So that's why ideally I like to take one entry at the end of the day and kind of stagger my entries. All right, well, it looks like we're selling off a little bit here towards the end of the day. Bing He got Teladoc. Okay. I'm waiting to the end, Bing He, to see if that crossover happens. Right now it's under. Karen says TDOC losing the cross. Yes, it is. I was just mentioning that. Go Kamal, sorry. I have to go to the dentist today again. So after I get out of here, gonna go get that taken care of. Let me take a look over here. All right, so the crossover is not happening on TDOC. The V2 is still there. I mean, it is up on the day. It's showing relative strength, so just going to have to watch this. I would just prefer to have both indicators line up here. Yeah, it's a V2. It is. And now it's even getting further apart. So it'll be interesting to hear how what everyone has done with their positions, if they've made any changes. But after the market closes, just get me up to date on it so I know what's going on, so I can update it. I think it's fun to be able to keep everyone's trades up here, keep everybody honest, show our trades to everyone, warts and all, right? I think it's good. I think it makes you a better trader, honestly. Just for the shame factor. Okay. Hey, Zach, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. So we have about 3 minutes. So I have to get out of Alibaba. And Caterpillar, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold Caterpillar. Still has the crossover. Didn't particularly like buying up this high. I mean, you know, when I buy crossovers, ideally I like to buy them below the value zone or in the value zone. But sometimes you just got to take them. Oh boy, am I glad I got out of Etsy when I did. I got out here, remember? That was good. That was fortunate. No skill involved in that. I just wanted to get it done and off of my mind, but better now than then. Or better then than now, excuse me. All right, so Kamal's out. But I would like to see Etsy as a normal, regular trade now that it's in the value zone. If it could just hang and go sideways. Bing He says, I think I may follow my plan on TDOC to exit based on V2 setup, even though V2 has disappeared. Just too fast on taking trade. Okay. So we have 1 minute. Let's look at Teladoc. Yeah, that's done unless it has a big surge here at the end of the day. Doo, doo, doo. Okay. 10 seconds to go. Okay. So listen, if you guys don't mind, guys and ladies, if you could please update me on your current position so I can get the board right. Please do that. Before I get to that, I just want to quickly put in my quick little daily plug. You know, you hear this every day, but I have to do it. But I just want to let everybody know that I do teach private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time. I love to coach. I've had really good success with my clients. I've studied with some really great famous traders over the years, like Steve Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. And the course that I teach incorporates everything that I've learned from all four of these gentlemen, in addition to what I have developed myself over the last 24 years. I think it's a great course. It's really interactive. There's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, so it's long form, one-on-one teaching. I think it's the best way to learn. And just to kind of give you a format, the first part of each lesson, I teach whatever subject I'm teaching that session. And the second part, I basically quiz you, ask you questions, have you break down charts. We do a lot of stock simulations together. Where's your next entry? What's your next trade? Where's your risk? Where's your reward? Where's your maximum loss? Where's your intermediate term profit target? Where's your ultimate profit target? All the stuff that I do and talk about here. I don't teach anything in my private lessons that I don't teach here, but it's one-on-one and it's more in depth. So I think that's why I decided to teach lessons one-on-one, because that's the best way I learn, and I kind of assume other people will too. So if you're interested in taking the course with me, I'd love to hear from you. Before I take on a new student, I like to have a Skype call with them, get to know them a little bit better, get to understand how long they've been trading, what their challenges have been, what their goals are. And then it's a really good time for you to ask me questions about the course, right? So if you want to reach out to me, have that Skype call. And by the way, Skype call is not a sales call. I can promise you that. There's no pressure whatsoever. I just want to see if we're compatible. I promise you, it's not a sales call. If you're interested after the call, great. We'll schedule the lessons. If not, then it was nice meeting you, really, and just nice to put a name with the face, or a face with the name. So you can reach out to me. My email's in the description of this video. And you can also send me a message on Twitter. And then if you like today's podcast, if you wouldn't mind, I really appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help build the channel, helps promote the channel. And, I think we have good content here. And I think a lot of people out there need help with trading, to learn good trading principles. And I think if they found the channel, they would benefit from it. So, okay. Now, let me go back and see. Okay, so Quad Racer is out of Roku. Quad Racer says, Greg, would you get into GS on the crossover if you were a day late, or do you consider that entry signal too far back? That's a good question. It's a really good question. I mean, if the crossover is still in place and you can buy it at a cheaper price, you can certainly make a case for it, because if you bought it, they would, like Steve and everyone who bought Goldman Sachs, they're still in it. So it's a very good question. I mean, you are getting a better price on it, and your risk to reward got better. Bing he exited Chewy. All right. So Chewy is gone. Bing he says, I think I follow my plan on TDOC to exit based on a V2 setup, even though just too fast on the trade. Steve has Disney, IWC, GS, SSO. Okay, good. I got you down for that. Steve. Quad says, Greg, I'm out of Disney. Okay, so Quad is out of Disney. Baba. I is out of Baba as well. And Roku. Okay, I got you out of Roku. I got into TDOC based upon the crossover. Okay. Didn't Bing He just say he was out of TDOC? Maybe you could clarify for me. Kamal is out of Roku. All right, so Roku's out of there. Etsy, yep, gotcha. Half of AGQ. All right. Sold half. Good. I'm glad to hear that. That was a monster run. We don't want to give it all back. Miko is in TDOC as well. Okay. Okay, got you down there, Miko. Wiener Dog Trading, no changes for my USO, SSO, Disney Cat. Okay, I've got you in all of those still. Kamal says, I am in TDOC. All right. Got Kamal. Kamal says, I am in TDOC, but both the V2 and the 520 are triggered. Yep. But you're in it, right? Bing He says, sorry, guys, shouldn't have brought up TDOC. Bing He, no problem. We were talking about TDOC earlier today. Kamal and I were talking about it early in the morning, and it's been brought up many times. Don't worry, bud. We all just do our best. Oh, okay. Bing He is in. All right. Hey, the thing I got to say about TDOC, it's up today on a down day. So that is good. Good relative strength, right? Okay. So Alibaba is gone. Okay, so I didn't take any new trades today. Down on the Caterpillar trade, but there's no change. Oh, I did buy SPY. Where did I buy SPY? Oh, boy. Okay. SPY I bought at 294.81. Okay. This is for the overnighter. Bing He said, there are still some good indicators on TDC. I like the RSI 50. Yes, I agree. So did we untrigger? Close back here is 176.66 or 175. Wait a minute. Close 175.66. Oh, yes, it did. Yep. Well, just the fact that it's in the value zone and holding is good. It's good that we're up today, good relative strength, and like Bing He said, we are holding the 50 RSI, which is also good. Dan says, Bing He, as I understand it, most traders will lose, but we can win if we cut losses quickly and try to maintain the risk-reward ratio 1 to 3. 100%. 100%. The better the risk to reward, or the reward to risk ratio, I guess, definitely the better, because then you don't have to win more times than you lose. You can still win and be profitable by winning under 50% of the time if your risk to reward is 3 to 1. 2 to 1 is my minimum, but obviously 3 to 1 is better. All right, so I am out of oil. I'm going to put oil over here for Kamal, Karen, and MA. So proud of you three. What a monster trade. I mean, that's monsters of monsters. So it looks like SPY is down after hours. All right. Well, so I'm down to a measly overnight SPY trade and a cat. I've had a good little run lately. I have to be, I am grateful for that. It's nice, and I'm just going to be a little careful here with my positions. But thankfully for gold, not gold, but silver and oil were just some monsters for sure. And I've had some really good results lately with the day trades, which I'm really happy for. Goodbye, Karen. Thank you. Good seeing you. So listen, if anybody has any other questions, please let me know. This would be the time. Otherwise, I've got to put on my tennis shoes and go to the dentist. I definitely have 10 minutes or so here. So if you have any questions, let me know. No happy trails today, although maybe I'll hike later. Katie is not going to be happy about it. All right, I'll leave you off with this. Please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today, just a smile or a wave or hello, or be pleasant. Maybe give just somebody a call that maybe doesn't have a lot of people to talk to. Just give them a call. It might make their day. Let them know you're thinking about them. And maybe someday somebody will do that for you if you're in need of that, right? So I think that's it. Again, if you could hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here, if you could take a half a second, I really would appreciate it. If you found it helpful. If you didn't, then you don't need to do it. And if you didn't like it, then you can definitely hit the thumbs down button as well, right? Different strokes and all that. So I think that's it. I think Monday we have a holiday, right? So no trading on Monday. So tomorrow is going to be our last day for a little bit, for 3 days, and we'll have a little break. So that sounds good. So thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go out, do something good, and be good yourself, right? Okay. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.